5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here's the Nerd Mafia.
Flyers up all around his apartment complex. A social media group known as the Nerd Mafia pushed for these electronic billboards in Central Florida. Nerd Mafia.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Calling all units A211 at 675 Main. Backup needed.
Car 36 responding.
Suspect wanted for question.
Good evening. Happy Saturday, everyone. We have beautiful Eva here with us. We have Live PD, or OP Live, I still call it Live PD, in between us, in case anything breaks. I think everything going on right now in Volusia County, there's like traffic for a mile. There's a drawbridge situation there. But we're here to talk about the Idaho Quadruple Homicide. Eva, how are you?
I'm wonderful. We had a good Saturday. We had a nice long nap. We were old people today. Yeah, we have OP Live on here. I'm wondering if it's gonna distract either of us. We both have ADD, but we'll see how it goes.
I'll be glancing over, so if folks see us glancing over to our left or right, it's because we're watching OP Live in between us. We have a lot of content tonight, starting with the latest update. So I'm going to play that. We'll get right to it. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. The latest update. So I just sort of scoured YouTube for the latest update in the past 2 hours, and this was it. So I'm going to play this real quick.
The latest on the mysterious murders of 4 Idaho college students. Police are getting in a number of tips about a car they've been looking for that was in the area the night of the attack. With so many calls coming in, tipsters now being directed to an FBI global call center after local police asked the public for help in tracking down the occupants of a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra.
The fact that they're being so specific about the years of the vehicle, the color, says this is not just someone guessing. This is something probably in the distance on a surveillance camera that they feel really may be connected to the case.
As the search continues for a suspect, police are urging people to avoid sharing any misinformation about the case online.
So yeah, there throughout the past 24 hours, a lot of warnings from police about misinformation. So rightfully so, the other day, we were wary when this came out. Esther Bauer put this press release out, and you caught that there was no header, there was no police logo. Typically, the Moscow police, when they put out their presser, have those items. But turns out the information is right, because I saw News Nation release information that the PIO, their state police spokesperson, had been swapped out. So this information actually turns out to be correct, but you have police saying don't share misinformation, but you have a document here that just doesn't look legitimate. Turns out it was, but it's a problem. But nonetheless, what I think that boils down to, at least as far as what we're concerned with, what they're saying is the white Hyundai Elantra, and Eva, correct me if I'm wrong, the white Hyundai Elantra is not related to the body cam footage. And Dan Abrams, in that last news clip we saw, he's saying that, look, this may be from video surveillance. Others have alluded to this may be the vehicle that drove them home that evening that police are looking for. And I asked you, Eva, too. I know I have a lot of questions, but I had asked you previously because all the media news had reported this as a private ride home. And I kept asking you, I said, is that just their way of sort of disguising Uber's name as the company that they took home? But it may be, we just don't have all the information here. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so we were really confused when you actually, I think somebody DM'd that to you, and I was like, it looks kind of sketchy. It just says media info at the top. They did put out an update yesterday that's similar to that. I don't know if it said that it was the update that they put out was saying that it wasn't the car and the body cam footage, but it did say, they did reiterate that body cam footage is not related to the murders, which obviously we know that. We just know that the house is in the background, and that's what everybody was interested in. In the body cam footage, there are cars parked out front, and there's 2-3 white cars. So it's really confusing. There is a lot of misinformation, and it seems like even with them, I'm sure you'll get into this, but they're saying there's no threat to the public and this is a targeted attack. And then today's update is travel in groups and stay vigilant for commencement this weekend. So it's a little confusing and a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, so Brian Etten put out this tweet this morning, and it looked pretty benign on the surface, but police put out an update this morning urging people to stay vigilant, travel in groups, and then media, press, especially Daily Mail, ran with that, putting this in their headline: Idaho cops spark fear, quadruple murder could strike again this weekend. They put that in all caps, but they really took Brian's tweet and ran with it. But it's just, this case has gone viral, and obviously we've spoken about how media and press will run with stuff like that. I do have the body cam footage, so I want to start playing that. It's long. I've put it in a format so we can it won't take full screen. We can continue chatting while it plays, but I'm going to get that going. The first portion, as I understand it, thanks to Irina for sending this over to me. So as you probably are aware, or most people are, first 20 to 30 seconds of police cam are always muted. So when they hit record, they get 30 seconds to, I don't know what they do, but to compose themselves, I guess. And then the audio starts. Here we go.
Here goes, no. Are they stopping?
Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop, but I'm not going to push it.
Hey, Moscow police, come back here. Hey, Moscow PD, all three of you. Oh. You two up there. Hey, man, come back here. How old are you guys?
Hello, sir.
How old are you guys? Taking out 21?
Yeah.
19. 19?
Yep.
Okay, is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
Well, we saw him talking to him, so we didn't know.
Okay, well, he yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on them. I yelled at you guys, you didn't stop.
No, I did not hear you.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure.
You guys have IDs on you?
So it's interesting. They blew out these kids' faces, even though I believe they're 18 and over. The next segment after this, the guy is 21 and they don't blow him out, but.
Where you guys live at? Okay.
Thank you. Just hang up on that. Oh, hang on. Yeah, let's wait till dispatch. Gotcha. You guys taking off on me?
Okay. I didn't hear you, sir. I'm sorry about that.
You all three turned around and I pointed my flashlight. You said, hey, come here. You guys all turned around and walked away.
I thought it was just like a fake person, honestly. Yeah. Like some dude from a frat or something. Someone trying to fuck with us.
Okay, that's fair.
You guys don't have ID? Okay.
So am I correct in saying that the direction of the quadruple murder would be straight ahead, Eva?
In this frame, no. So it's actually it's further to the right. So that building that's right there in the right side of the screen is the two longer apartment buildings that are to the left of their house. So when it was when they were walking back to where they are now, you could see, I believe you can see a light on in their window. It's all the way to the right of the screen is where their house is. And if I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comments, but I believe that's where it is.
Yeah, as we play this, we will we'll display some comments up there, try to answer them. So this is interesting too, because aside from just the white Hyundai, I'm sure web sleuths are looking at any vehicle on the street and any vehicles driving by during this time frame and trying to figure out what's what. But I'm going to continue playing, and we'll display comments and pause as needed.
Is that y'all's car right there? Undercover. Well, it's trying to save gas. We downgraded us from patrol cars. Gas. We're a hybrid. There you go.
Smart move. Smart move.
Yeah. Once dispatch, which we know that actually exists, I'll catch you there. Sorry. No worries. You guys over at which department did y'all come from? I don't know. I was at a friend's house.
I couldn't tell you the number, sure.
Okay. Is the other person hosting the party?
Somebody Matt, I think.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. You're in the middle. What's your first name?
So this was all muted originally as they get names and social security. So I fast forwarded through this back to where this audio is. I just asked Eva if that was, I'm just going to back it up a little bit because there was a white car walking back right there, right? And I don't know if that's the Hyundai, but right there on the right of the frame is a white car. I don't know if that's what folks are referencing, but you see it right there.
So there's that one, and then I believe when it was back when they were out in the field, so that backed up widescreen shot of the clip that was going around. It looks like there's two white cars, and I don't know if that's the one that everybody had tags that was circled, or if there's another one in front of it.
Do you have the alcohol offense case?
Yeah, I ran it. That's what I'm sort of collecting from what other news media are saying. Dan Abrams, that this is not the car, but I'm sure that's probably not good and sufficient for web sleuths. But nonetheless, it's still the car that they're looking for. So it may not be the video in any of these body cam footage, the car that they're specifically looking for, but they are still looking for that car.
I mean, this is around the time that the murders happened. They keep saying between 3 and 4 o'clock, and you can see the timestamp up at the top of this video. It's 3:01 a.m. So, I mean, shouldn't they be looking for the car that's parked down there? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they've already spoken to those people, but there are quite a few cars that were down there. That one seems to be parked in an area where it's kind of like a straight shot view to that house.
Yeah, and I think police are. I mean, any cars here that they see, right? They're going to play the game of does it belong. There's going to be cars that are parked here regularly on a daily basis that people are used to, and then there's going to be cars that stand out that may have been one-offs for this party, etc.
I can even see the hologram there. You want to give me one there? I'll start.
I got his address and phone number when you want it.
Okay. Actually, go ahead with that.
It's a good point. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Layla. But yeah, typically my daughter goes to college in Connecticut, and they're not even allowed to park overnight for the first year. So, but yeah, you do have to register your car with the university if you are a student and you're driving on campus or leaving your car parked there on campus.
Citation here, and you put the rest of your information on here, but that's all your information. Citation is MIC, and then down here is going to be the paid by or contest by date. So it's an infraction. So there's a set fine for this, okay? It's $487.50.
So I haven't seen the end of this video. I don't know if you watched it all the way till the end, but I'm curious to know which way these guys went after they walked away from the cop. Like, where did they go? Did they walk away? Did they drive away? Did they stay in the area? And how long that cop sat there and maybe did paperwork after he took this report? Because I feel like that's kind of pertinent.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, you saw how long just right there felt like forever, especially with ADHD. Watching him sit in that patrol car and just do paperwork, right? But it's a good point. A lot of times, they will stay in that spot where they file the report, continue on. But it goes without saying, sometimes you'll see cops, especially at that hour, just pulled over sleeping too, right? I mean, I've seen it in every state that I've traveled. So we're going to continue playing this on.
How tall are you?
I am at 6 foot, maybe 6'1".
Okay. Weight?
177.
Hair color? Blonde.
Blonde.
Eye color?
Blue.
So again, we've hit a part where the video is muted and then it comes back. Yeah, $487.50.
The sign will join your way, okay? Alright. So the instructions on the back. Like I said, $487.50. And again, have it paid or contested by December 1st, okay? Sign on the yellow line is not an admission of guilt. It's just saying that you acknowledge the fine date there, okay? Get your copy here. So obviously you're in drinking college, this goes for both of you. Smart about it, don't be staggering drunk out in public and stuff, okay? So you're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, you as well. Alright, what's the last 4 of your social? And what state was your license out of? Idaho?
Idaho, yeah.
Okay. Height?
6'3".
Weight?
Probably about 155.
Hair color? Brown, black, brown?
Yeah.
Eye color?
Blue.
Okay, it's the same thing for you. December 1st. Just pay by or contest by, okay? Just have it taken care of by then.
Yeah.
Sign the yellow line, non-admission of guilt. Just saying.
I'm just gonna speak my mind like I normally do. like I'd want to know, just because this cop like here, like that's a cop, right, with a flashlight. He's like undercover, and I just know from like being on colleges, typically, I don't know, I like how many infractions like this do they normally have? Because this is like a perfect like alibi for a cop. Like if I was a cop that, and I'm just gonna throw it out there because we as a community have said this before, like at Summer Wells, even their own parents have alluded, like law enforcement is always a sure bet for getting away with something like this because they know the ins and outs of crime. And I'm just speaking off the cuff here. But I'd want to know how many alcohol related infractions do they have typically on average a year? Because for this to occur at the same exact time as a quadruple murder sort of is sus to me. But I'm going to continue playing it, and you can tell me to pause Eve if you have thoughts.
Acknowledge that date.
Campus cop stack says, I don't know. Could be. I want the numbers though. I want to know how many infractions like this they have.
So same thing for you, 487.50, okay?
Okay.
I mean, not for nothing, because typically cops at a college campus, I mean, these kids aren't acting rowdy. They're not being belligerent. These are, I mean, kids being kids, right? We've seen it everywhere. We even saw it with Kylie Rodney case. That was high school, never mind college. So I will say it's a little, if this isn't a common thing, these infractions, then I would say this is wildly suspect. But that's just my gut. I am watching this for the first time along with you guys.
Get her. All right. You can see her. All right, here's a copy. Any questions?
No.
All right, you were free to go.
Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good night off.
You too. Take care. Any questions?
No.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Have a safe rest of your night, man. Moscow 77. Moscow PD. Come over here, talk to me. Moscow PD. Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got your ID on you?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll take.
So this is an individual where they don't blow out the face. He's 21, so.
Get back to my apartment if you need.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop, but I'm not going to push it.
Hey, Moscow, wait.
Yeah, you got your ID on you?
I don't.
Okay. I'm going to grab your room.
For the folks saying this is campus police, they've clearly identified themselves as Moscow police right there.
Oh, just because you got beer and you're walking around with it?
No, it's closed.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I live like right there. I'll take it back if you need.
No, we're just doing alcohol enforcement and running around with beer across the street.
No worries. Sorry about that.
You're good. What's your last name?
Muted out again for his name and social security.
Date of birth.
2001. Like one.
How'd you pull that
That's
one
what.
off? That's an awesome birthday.
Yeah, lucky birthday.
You got a driver's license?
I don't have it.
What? No, in general.
I do have one, yeah.
What state is it through?
Idaho.
Idaho. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to check if everything's good.
Yeah, that
since they're
doesn't.
not
That's
open,
what doesn't make sense.
I'll let you hang on to them.
Fancy.
So I get charged with anything?
No,
or?
no.
Okay. Appreciate it.
I mean,
It's just enough for me to
typically,
stop, check, make sure you're 21, walking around here in
if
public.
they were belligerent, if they were like acting a fool, I can see citations on college campus. But
Moscow 77, check one. What's that?
Am I good?
A little bizarre.
No, let me run this through dispatch. Make sure you're actually 21 and give me a fake birthday or anything.
That's what I mean by belligerent. Like they're not acting like
2001.
it.
No threat.
I don't know. Why is he even harassing him at this point?
Yeah.
But,
It's funny.
Yeah, I think that's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
One. So if that comes back good, yeah, you're free to go. Are these your boys?
No, I don't know them.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just hang out on there. Yeah, wait till dispatch comes back and says you're good.
All right, no worries.
You guys taking off on me?
I didn't hear you. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry
we thought
about
you were
that.
talking.
You all three turned around and I pointed my flashlight at you. You said, hey, come here. You guys all turned around and walked away.
I thought it was just like a fake person, honestly. Yeah, like
How many fake people?
I'm gonna pause it there. I'm gonna mute it. Actually, I'll let it play. In case we see anything that we didn't see. There's a couple of repeats because they did different blur outs there. Sleuthy, feel free. The guest link is pinned to the top here. Sleuthy says she has a report. I have no idea what report she's talking about, to be honest, but we're excited she has a report. Anything that stands out here or sticks out, Eva, as we watch or continue watching? Like I said, I stick by my assessment that it's sort of odd. Unless you're telling me they have a number of these alcohol sort of stings every weekend or regularly, like it just seems bizarre. It seems like it's a good alibi, but.
Yeah, I find that really odd too. Especially being that, so right there where the band field is, that field that they're in, those houses lining the other side of that, like where the Sigma Chi house, that's Greek Row right there. So, I mean, it's really hard to believe that they're patrolling that area that heavy and that strictly looking for underage drinking. And especially like you guys said, these kids didn't seem to be causing a ruckus. They weren't vandalized. Like they really don't. They don't even seem drunk. They kind of just seem like they're just hanging out. But I find it really odd, and the fact that it's a plainclothes officer. They're not just out there looking for underage drinkers. So it makes you wonder what they were even doing in the area to begin with, and is there a drug situation in that area? And that's something that everybody has speculated from the beginning. Were drugs involved in the murders, or did it have something to do with it? Were they going on at that house? Were they coming in and out of that house? So I think the body cam footage raises a lot more questions than just a car.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking like Lori just said, like right near. I mean, we're not even talking right near. We're saying you can see the house or the apartments that's visible via Google Earth from some of this body cam footage. That's how close they are. And at the exact, I mean, you see the time up there, 3:05 a.m. right now is where we're at. They were murdered in between 3 and 4 a.m. is what police. It's just, this is bizarre. It's really bizarre. Now, true crime ran into. Well, I ran into issue. At least with this Hyundai Elantra. I'm not a Hyundai guy, I'm more of an Audi, BMW, German, Volkswagen kind of guy. But the cars, so a bunch of folks and really, really smart. There was a welfare check of an individual here, and I'm not going to put names out here. And sleuths went on Google Earth, on Street View, and we're looking for a white Hyundai, and including myself. And there were some cars that were very, very close. But it turns out the car there was I think you said one was a Tucson, Eva, and the other one on the street was a Sonata. We're going to play a clip here trying to show the difference real quick.
Just to get to it fast, like Ramadan told kids, like to get to 61B for I-95 North.
what's the hurry, man?
Good. Who knows Hyundai is the best?
Any of us.
Is this a Sonata or Elantra?
That's a Sonata.
This is a Sonata. We'll find out. That's an Elantra. It's an Elantra and a Sonata. They do look the same, but how do you know?
6 years working.
What's the difference between a Sonata and Elantra?
The body style is longer, and then the headlights look different. It's just a more round shape, and the trunk is different.
So definitely a Sonata.
Oh, 100%.
Thank you. But the police could easily, like, if you don't know Hondas, the police could confuse it.
Oh yeah, 100% without a doubt. 11 through 14 YF Hyundai Sonata.
What would people look for on Elantra specifically? Like, how do they like?
Sonata is the brown one right here to your right.
Okay.
Right there, the blue one's an Elantra.
Perfect. So this is a Sonata.
That's a Sonata.
That's Elantra.
This is a newer version than what you just showed, guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So an Elantra and a Sonata.
On fire, and it's still, you know.
I thought mass drivers are the worst. Y'all, and now, of course, I can't say anything.
Said it, bro.
Yeah.
You can be the best driver in the world, driving a minivan.
He didn't have to make it dig that low with a minivan. I got pulled over going quite fast though. I told him I deserved it, and he got me a little break. I mean, he cut me a little break at least. So we were both honest with each other. But you saw there's a difference there between the Sonata and Elantra. Obviously, these service guys know it. I don't know it. I'm not a car guy. But as the service dealer pointed out, and I pointed out, easy enough for police to make a mistake there too. Eva, you have some kind of reports that you just uploaded. But before we get there, I want to get to the News Nation clip. So we showed the latest update, and then this was a little behind that.
Close investigators, we don't know if they're local, state, federal, they were inside, and we saw a lot of activity inside the home, and the home was...
There was some activity at the house. We're day 25, Nancy, and there's still activity there. What was happening?
Yes. Yeah. Less than an hour ago, we were here, and about 5 plainclothes investigators, we don't know if they're local, state, federal, they were inside, and we saw a lot of activity inside the home, and the home was lit up. So we were able to peek in some of the windows, but we saw those men inside the home in the 2 particular rooms where the murders took place. We did not see them leaving with any materials. I asked them a couple of times, why are they back? They did not answer me. They pulled away in 2 vehicles. One had a Washington state plate, the other had an Idaho plate. But that is all we can tell you. But we did see a lot of activity. This house was lit up for nearly an hour. They were inside. We don't know why. Nothing seemed to be removed. But as you know, Ashley, yesterday, a lot of the kids' belongings were removed by Moscow police to be returned to their families.
So I'm just watching these guys as they're walking by you. Were you asking them questions, and were they effectively just ignoring you? Did they say hello? Did they say anything at all?
Not a peep. And I asked them specifically, why are you here tonight? Why are you here tonight? They did not acknowledge me. So certainly they were on a mission, and they left without saying a word.
These cowboys have the hearts of millions of women around the U.S. right now who, I mean, the secrecy alone has added to the speculation of who these guys could be. Now, my guess is, Eva, that these are just some YouTube creators. My guess is that these are YouTube creators. They snuck in, they tricked security there at the house. They went in, they got their footage, and we're going to see a big title next week, shocking inside footage. And it's going to be from some YouTube creator in a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I think that's what we all initially thought. Really, it looked like frat guys in cowboy hats with lanyards. I was like, how funny would that be if they just they hired some dipshit security team out there, like, oh, they got lanyards, let them on in. But yeah, so regardless, we were all we're quite admiring them Cowboys. I don't know. It was really weird. The whole thing was so bizarre, right down to the guy. He couldn't get back in the minivan. It was just odd. But in all seriousness, I think we were all really wondering, like, what, they're back in there again. Who are these guys? We haven't seen them. Are they new investigators? What are they going back over something? They didn't bring anything out. They didn't come out with any evidence. So obviously they were just going in to check things out. And it seemed like they spent, they did go upstairs in the bedrooms, or at least one of the bedrooms, and spent a little bit of time around like the kitchen dining room area, which a lot of the other investigators seem to focus on too.
While you were focused on the Cowboys, I was focused on my friend Jennifer Coffindaffer, who Ron sent her a new gig. He sent her a whole new webcam because she always has audio issues. So let's watch a clip, audio and video issues, right? So let's watch a clip. She was on Fox.
How important is the public in a case like this?
Oh, my belief is critical. They're really critical, but I'll take you back to the Gabby Petito case with the Bethunes. The Bethunes would have never known the white van was important that they saw when they were just traveling through the Tetons if they wouldn't have been alerted to it by social media. So
media, mainstream media, social media, every avenue needs to be
used to get the information out. I can tell you, I was with two people yesterday who had no idea that these murders have been committed, that anything's going on, unless you're a newsie or a crew
crime person. It's very possible many people have no idea that this crime, believe it or not, is being committed. So we need to saturate the public with information so they can be aware, and hopefully someone will come forward.
It looks like she's still having some audio issues there.
You should be ashamed of yourself for that one. I just, as you were making that, I was in the next room and I realized what you were doing, and I was like, why are you going to do Jen like that? Just why? I honestly hope she kicks your ass for that one.
I love Jen a lot. I love that she has a son and she has a great sense of humor usually, so I'm hoping she doesn't kill me. With that, we have a sponsor, right? A new sponsor, and then you'll get to Sleuthy's new information. Or is Sleuthy going to join us? Did you convince her to come up here? Or? I don't know. Well, let's hear from our sponsor.
Fresh pico de gallo, fresh salsa. Get it in mild, medium, or hot. The medium is so hot that my girlfriend says, "Wow, that's hot." And she's from the South. So imagine how hot that must be. It's got tomatoes, onions, jalapeno, peppers, cilantro, lemon juice, lime juice, salt, and citric acid. Citric acid.
All right. Are we having fun? Okay. Back to serious stuff.
That salsa was really hot. Yes. You said you got medium to make me happy because you normally get mild. And I said I took a bite of it and that's not medium. It's hot. It was spicy, in all fairness. Yeah, so Sleuthy actually sent us the police report from that body cam footage. And I just uploaded it. 1 second. So this says right here that they were working plainclothes detail, alcohol enforcement. So apparently this is what they do. They're plainclothes officers out there looking for underage drinkers.
So I guess I'd be interested, like I said, still. So this isn't even a concerned citizen calling in, right? Am I reading this right? They're just working plainclothes all of a sudden at the same time frame. Okay. Well, before I continue on my rant, I want to get the data. I want to see how many of these plainclothes infractions they issue on a yearly basis, because that'd be critical, I think. Speaking of police, when I got pulled over in your minivan, I didn't know where anything was, so I ended up handing the poor cop a Powerball ticket from I don't know when, but it was in that top section of your glove compartment, Powerball ticket, and then I handed him a old expired parking ticket. Not like a parking ticket, but like a parking pass, like one of those things that you hang on your windshield. I still don't, coming from addiction, I still get really nervous around cops. I've gotten better, but I get really nervous. So I was handing them some random shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have any parking. I have no tickets, actually. Yeah, I could tell you were nervous. You called me and you were like, "Where's your registration?" And I'm like, "It's in the top." And my minivan has 2 glove compartments. So there's a smaller one on top and then like a bigger section on the bottom. And you open the bottom one, and that's where everything goes to die in there. It's like the junk drawer. And 2 minutes later, you still couldn't find it. You FaceTime me, and you just have literally everything inside that dumped out all over the seat. I'm like, no, the top. So luckily you got one of the nicer Jacksonville cops there.
He was a statey.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, well, you got really lucky then, actually.
I did. And I appreciate you telling him I didn't steal the vehicle when I called you. That helped a lot.
In your defense, I will say, I don't think you told anybody this part. Ludacris had just came on the radio, and I think it's one of those songs you hear it and you drive a little fast. Just
it was so I was on my way to the dealership to clarify the Sonata versus Elantra conversation. As he said on camera, I actually am from New England, and I thought mass drivers drove really poorly. But he said stand by, meaning Florida is the worst. And so when I got on to the highway, a car and a tractor trailer were having a little shit pit there. The car was trying to sneak around in the emergency lane. There was grass and debris flying up, and I said, you know what, I'm just not going to have this day. And at the same time, Move Bitch by Ludacris came on, and I floored it. There's 4 wide lanes. I got all the way to the left, and I just floored it with Move Bitch on. And by the time I got up to that spot right where I was going to come back down and deaccelerate and get into the right, I saw the statey over on the left, and I didn't even bother. I waved at him actually, and I just pulled right over. I knew he was coming for me. We had some good moments. We had some Christmas moments. I hope Sleuthy comes on. We're going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to play our comedy clip if I have it. Oh, it's a long one, so I have to do it a different way because I put in some zoo footage there. So this was really cool. Jacksonville Zoo in Florida, they do zoo lights. We had a really good time. Here we go. I think. Here we go. Maybe.
Do you think you could play some DMX?
Yeah, I can.
It's December 2nd. The snow begins to fall. Babe, I'm getting ready.
Santa's here.
Santa's on a break.
What? Holy. Is this real?
I think it's like bubbles.
It's magical until you told me that.
Yeah, sorry.
What was Santa doing before?
I really don't know. On a break right now.
What is he doing?
He's doing his business. I know. We don't know how.
What do you mean his business? You guys are his elves.
I know. I can't think.
Is he smoking a doobie? No. Doing something for like 12 minutes, smoking a doobie? He was, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. He just gets to go like that.
Yeah. But he'll be back tomorrow, most likely.
Guys, you can't just come in here. Guys, you can't just come in here. When you went on a break earlier, were you smoking a doobie?
No, I don't do any of that.
But I saw you guys come out. Is there anything cool back there?
No, it was just like eating the boxes.
Oh, so you guys were back there.
Yeah.
What do you think of Nancy Grace?
Nancy Grace, oh.
What do you think of, who is it? Exactly. Why have you been such a D-bag this Christmas and all the other past Christmases? You have some work to do. I like your purse.
Oh, well,
Is it a satchel or a purse? Is that the real Santa?
Of course.
Yeah. He did admit he's medically prescribed this year. Times have changed. Santa's medically prescribed.
Bye-bye.
What were you doing on the break though?
What's that?
What were you doing on the break though?
Just moving.
What do you think of Nancy Grace?
Huh?
What do you think of Nancy Grace?
Nancy Grace.
Do you know her?
No.
Do you feel a little bad about how much you charge for ice?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't make the price.
I know.
I feel bad for everybody, and also we don't do cash either.
Please, I'm a violent repeat offender. What do you think of Nancy Grace? Did someone fart?
Yep, in there.
Ask for some DMX.
He's gonna play some DMX next. No, what do you think of Nancy Grace though?
Nancy Grace? I have no idea who that is.
Baby, let's raise our glasses because Christmas time is here. It's time for singing and dancing. Baby, let's spread a little Christmas cheer. Baby, let's raise our glasses. Don't you know it's Christmas time? No, it's time for singing and dancing. Baby, let's spread a little Christmas cheer.
Anna did admit he was smoking a doobie.
It's snowing.
See Santa? And you're acting like this? Are you kidding me?
I want to be like this.
What are you gonna ask him?
Candy cane.
Make sure you act right.
Or
Just for 5 seconds.
That 5 seconds was really, really hard for her.
Yeah, she was actually in there. She can't help herself. She was touching everything. And I'm like, it was like Santa's standing right there and you're tearing up his workshop. And she's just like trying so hard to hold it together. She did though. She did. She pulled off.
She held it together. One good point that I saw in Twitter earlier, and we won't know. This is just good thought or good critical thinking. But folks are asking if the 4 students in Idaho perhaps had an Alexa device, a Google Home device. I know some Alexa devices have macro set up, so when they detect noise or someone coming home, that data. Someone asked if that data is collected. I know rest assuredly that data is collected because I'm in the tech world and Alexa does collect data even when you're not talking to it. Ours just went off. And look at that. But yeah, so it's a really good thought, and it's a question I can't answer, right? I hope law enforcement thought of these things. I hope those devices had search warrants accompanied with them. But I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. So
The Alexa devices actually pick up quite a bit, and I know this because if you go into the settings on your Echo app or your Amazon app, I don't know which one it is. You can go and look at it. Logs every time you speak to it or everything that it picks up on its own. Like mine, I have, I have one in every room of the house, including the bathrooms. And so they randomly go off, even if it sounds like you're saying her name. And there's an entire log history where you can go in and read through everything that you've said to it, everything you've asked it, everything it reminds you of. So it collects everything.
Police got so overwhelmed. We actually, I called Moscow PD when that woman put out the statement that didn't have the header, because I thought that's a huge piece of information. And it looked like she was credible. Like I followed her Facebook, but you and I had questions. So we called and we surprisingly got routed to the FBI. So the woman said, let me get you to the department upstairs. And the department upstairs was the FBI. After a number of menu options I gave up because I was asking a question. I wasn't submitting a tip and I didn't want to use up their lines for that. So I had asked the woman for their public relations person, but they redirected to FBI. So they're sort of framing it up as, look, we've gotten so many tips about this Hyundai Elantra. We are now having the FBI handle a call center for us. It's not a call center. I mean, it's an interesting way of framing it up. It's just a normal FBI's auto attendant for tips. So. Sorry, I've opened up the phone line. The banner is going to be there, but for folks, 844 Nerdbird, that's BRD. The phone number is going to be, I'm going to pop it up here on the screen right now, 844-637-3273. I don't know if RW is in here tonight. I'd love to hear from him and see where his mind's at. Love to hear from anyone else. It is, what is it, Saturday? We're watching OP Live. We'll be here for a little bit longer. I like to make these pretty quick and to the point. We're not going to fluff this up and add facts here. We're happy to have a discussion, though. We've put all the latest updates out there. Oh, there is one more thing, Eva. Irina sent this over, but folks have caught a female screaming, or a female, I shouldn't say screaming, a female voice on the body cam. So I'm going to play that. And I looped it over for folks to hear. I don't hear anything, but I'm going to play it for folks.
Yep. Okay. The reason.
I'm going to loop it one more time because I took you can hear the officer speaking, and then I clipped the actual piece of which people online are talking about. I don't hear anything. I'm going to loop it twice here.
Yep. Okay. The reason. Yep. Okay. The reason. Yep. Okay. The reason.
Okay. That's the last loop. So people pick that up. I simply looped it over and over and put different filters on it to see if anything would stick out. Nothing did. So it's one of those things where we have such limited information. People sometimes make a stretch for little things. On the other hand, it could be something. So I don't know. I put it out there because it could be something. Irina's saying you don't hear stop. I'm going to play it one more time. I like hearing stuff without.
I was going to say, I mean, I hear, I mean, you can kind of hear a stop, but if anything, to me, that sounds like somebody outside. You can hear kind of an echo. If it's somebody yelling, it would definitely be somebody outside. It wouldn't sound like somebody inside a house yelling that from where they were standing. And honestly, to me, it does. It sounds more like an animal sound.
Yep. Okay. The reason.
Sounds like a Fisher cat. I don't know. Nonetheless, it's out there. People can make their own conclusion with what it sounds like. It's it could be anything. I mean, it's also, these are parties occurring. I imagine people are screaming, having fun, acting more belligerent than these individuals here that got pulled into a $487.50 citation for, I mean, one of them, I do want to say one of them, the second one, the 21-year-old, that's really, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been around the block and arrested. That's an illegal stop, right? He said this is closed container. He's 21. A closed container doesn't mean he's a suspect in a crime, and police really, especially undercover, sort of harassing him. He should have been able to stop that at any time and asked if he was free to go and been on his way. But that's my opinion. The other ones, underage drinking, if it's a problem there on college, as an addict, I can't say it's a problem, right? I think that they should enforce that. I do think that there's a line to be drawn because I've seen this on college. I have kids of my own. Like I've always said to my own children, I'd rather you stay where you're going to be if you're going to be drinking, right? I would prefer transparency, honesty, and my child to remain in one spot and just stick there. Or if they're going to be mobile, to call me or call Uber and have safe transportation. And the reason why I'm saying that is it looks like these kids were, I mean, it looks like they were local. I don't know. I don't have all the information, but one of them looks like he's right there. One of them said, like, I thought it was one of the frat students that was asking me to stop. So I imagine they're local. I don't know. They didn't look belligerent. They didn't look like they were causing a whole lot of ruckus. And quite frankly, it's one street over from where a quadruple murder occurred. While they're I don't know. It seems suspect.
I'm with you. I'm curious to know how much money they make annually off of those citations.
Well, yeah, and I mean we've raised on Twitter also. Idaho police scaled back their detectives, and I want to remind people that the FBI is still backing them. Idaho State Police is still backing them. The forensic labs is still backing them. But they got $1 million from the state to continue this manhunt for the suspect, and then scaled down, and then produce a video almost a month. We're going on a month, right? In 3 days, or produce body cam footage of a stop. And if this is not the norm, police are going to kick, or people are going to kick and scream, because unless you have multiple, I want it now. I guess people should request more data, more information. I want to see more types of these body cam footage from this department that claim it's so bizarre. 3 a.m., 3 to 4 a.m. is when the murders occur. We see up at the top, this is 3:16 a.m. We've talked originally about the physique, the physical strength it would require to pull this off. Add to that the knowledge, the know-how of how to evade police, FBI this long. You have some things that are questionable here, from at least in my mind right now. And I evolve with data. If there's more data that comes out from this, and people say, look, these happen all the time, this is a regular thing. Okay, so be it. But right now I don't have that data in front of me. So the phone line is open. We'd love to hear from folks. If we don't, we're going to wrap up. I'm going to watch OP Live with Eva. Guest link is pinned to the top of chat. We're going to go back also to chat and post some comments up here. And I will let Eva take it for a little bit here. I think I have one more piece of content that I want to show. So just give me a minute to look for that, but I'll let you take the mic for a second.
Yeah, I'm actually a little curious hearing that they scaled back. I believe it said they scaled back a quarter of their officers working on this case. And the fact that they did get $1 million in state emergency funds to work on this investigation is, I mean, we're a month in here and you guys don't even have a suspect, but you're scaling back while you just got extra money to continue investigating. I don't know how everybody else feels about that. That is infuriating to me. I saw somebody just say, well, $1 million goes really quick. Well, yeah, it goes quick, but it doesn't go that quick that they need to take, I feel like, a fourth of the people working on this off. I'm reading through your questions too right now, guys.
And you can't say it goes through that quick. Look, I may not have every piece of data right, but I have a pretty good memory. And what I've read or heard in news is that Moscow hasn't had a murder since what, 2015. Anyone can up. We like people pointing out facts. So if we're wrong, point them out. But you don't have any murders. You're showing that you are pulling in. This is just one infraction. So let's say you pull in 5 infractions a weekend. That's $2,500. You don't have any murders. It's a small town. Where's this money going? I mean, you have to ask the questions, right? Where did this $1 million go? To your point, yeah, $1 million can go by pretty quickly. I would have to ask Jennifer. You know, she always says when local PD asks for the assistance of the FBI usually comes help. I don't know if that comes with a price tag. I presume that's already budgeted within the federal budget. And so like, there's a lot of questions here. $1 million. Yeah, no, I know $1 million goes quick. I worked in corporate IT, healthcare. I know. But I guess, I mean, as they're public servants, I'd like to see a detailed sort of inventory of where this all went. They didn't even tow the cars for, I know it goes by quickly, but there's a lot of questions still here. And then you add to it that if you are doing infractions like this, constantly doing things of this nature and pulling in money, you should have some money stacked up for this type of thing, especially if you haven't had this type of thing occur in 7 years or longer, right? I mean, but and I do understand the nuances of that money needing to be redirected to other things. I do understand that we do have a fentanyl problem. We do have a drug problem here. Overdoses are up. But I don't know that that necessarily gets taken away from police. I've talked to New York City police officers. When they had budget cuts, those social services still were intact and oftentimes came from different budgets. But I'd love to hear from anyone that knows that type of thing better. I have a lot of questions.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how fast $1 million goes, whether they blew through it that quick or not. They still have a murder to solve. And again, the fact that they don't even have a suspect. We have a car that we're looking for that may or may not be an Elantra. It may or may not be from body cam footage. You know, they don't. It doesn't seem like, I mean, I think to most of us that they have any serious leads here. So it doesn't matter if they went through $1 million or not. They still have a murder to solve. They have 4 victims and their families that deserve justice. And they have an entire town of kids there that they're, if, you know, $500 a pop for underage drinking, and that's just underage drinking. You don't know what else they're writing infraction for to these kids. This is a small town that relies on this university to make money. The university keeps this town afloat, essentially. So this town and that police department makes their money from those kids being there at that school. And, you know, that's the least they can do is keep them safe while they're there.
And I mean, look, we've said it out loud on, like I said, Summer Wells, even Don Wells. When I asked him, do you think law enforcement could be involved? He said those thoughts crossed our mind. And look, you can't tell me a job vertical that has high addiction rates, high domestic violence rates, rightfully so. I'm not saying that they see traumatic things, they deal with traumatic things, but we know in this community trauma, if not dealt with regularly, especially if you're dealing with these things regularly, you can deal with those in a multitude of ways, and some of those ways are dark. And so someone that's in that field, you know, and people in this community have pointed to people in the community. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I feel like people are on the right track when they point at people that work in these dark fields, like a morgue or, you know, et cetera. Because these jobs do take a toll on the human soul. and it can go dark pretty quickly if it's not addressed. So yeah, that's a long way of saying cops aren't excluded in these searches for the suspect. We have no profile. We have nothing from police at this point that shows, not even a height. I don't even have a height. We don't have a shoe size. We have nothing besides a white Hyundai Elantra. We don't know what plate tags. We don't know anything besides a white Hyundai Elantra at this point. Is that accurate? And people pointed out that the Cowboys, they had Washington plates. We just saw an article with the Secret Service where they rent cars, right? There was 5 cars the Secret Service rented and they all caught fire. I don't know why. That's weird too. But oftentimes government entities rent cars. So it could be just a rental car. It doesn't mean that they came from Washington.
It doesn't matter where those Cowboys came from. I think we all just want to see them again.
It's Zelensky who was on last time now. He's been overtaken by the Cowboys.
Nobody's calling in tonight? Nobody wants to talk to us? Shame, shame.
Yeah, phone line is open, 844-637-3273, hit 0. We'll put a hard stop in about 5 minutes if nobody calls in. I may put a hard stop to YouTube altogether if nobody calls in. I'm just going to put that into them.
Don't do that.
Thank you very much, Maria, for the super sticker. We've expanded beyond pickle money at this point. I have a hefty speeding ticket that I need to pay, so the 99 cent will go towards this speeding ticket. Thank you. No, but in all seriousness, we'd love to hear from anyone out there. Guest link at the top will get you in on a computer. You can join in via video or audio, or that link you can join in via audio only. You can turn off your camera, join in via audio only. Or if you don't trust that, right? If you're sitting at home in your pajamas and you just don't trust that your camera is going to turn on and we're going to see you in your ratchet pajamas, you can call in 844-637-3273. We want to hear your thoughts on the case. We want to hear your thoughts on really whatever. I don't really care. We just like talking to you.
We can do what you said. We can just start calling out. We'll just pick a random number. Let's see.
Write down your mom's number. Let's give her a call. Thank you very much, Tyler. I appreciate that. The super sticker out there. Write down your mom's number. Let's give her a call.
You have my mom's number.
Do I? Shit. Hold on. What do I have her listed as?
Hillbilly.
Yeah, it's probably something funky. I don't know. Hold on. Contacts. She's always got some interesting. She's out there. Oh yeah, she's in there. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna give her a call. Let's see if she picks up.
No, don't really do.
You got saved by the bell, Eva. Saved by the bell. Eva got saved. I was literally going to hit send to Kosh Mima, and somebody called in, Eva. Who do we have on the line? Hello. Hi, who do we have? I'm good. How are you?
I cannot hear the caller, and I believe nobody in the chat can either. Just you.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second. They're saying that they can't hear you in the chat. So give me 1 second to try to correct that. Yeah, no, I have her here as an input, but let me try one thing. All right, can you try talking? Can you hear yet, Eva?
Nope.
People in chat? No, I don't know. People in chat can't hear. I can hear. I'll take your question though, and I'll relay it to them. I don't know why. You're set up. We're set up like we normally are. So. Oh no, I know why. Hold on.
Okay.
I bet they can hear you now.
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear? Everybody can hear you now. We're good.
Okay.
I am the nerdy addict. I just take it really fucking slow.
I know who.
All
I've
right,
been
go ahead.
following you for quite some time.
Go ahead.
So.
I'm just joking.
I used to go by the name Angels for Justice.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
And I've been hanging out with you guys for a while.
Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us. What are your thoughts on this case?
Well, the little snippet that you did of the woman yelling or person yelling, there's actually a recording of it with a little bit longer version. Stop it. Leave me alone. Something like that. I personally don't think there's anything to it. I heard that there's a guy who's a juggler and he lives right across the way from the house where the students were slayed. And he actually did it as a prank. Made this whole phone call thing up. So I don't know how much, that's true or not true. I don't know, but
It's why I only played the what you heard tonight, because the other clips are deep fakes. There's also a clip of someone that put out on YouTube. They messed with the audio and they tried to make it as if neighbors were screaming or some other hoax. It's just, it happens on every big case. We saw it, on TikTok and the Petito case. There's footage literally of people that look like Brian getting arrested, and people would put the text up that he was arrested, and they would go 1 million views and people would believe it. And it sucks. It's why you just heard at the beginning of the stream that, police are asking the public to stop with the rumors and speculation. And it's why I didn't play that clip, but yeah, it's a problem.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is a problem. And it happens on every case, like you said. And it's just ridiculous to me that people would spend their time doing stuff like that does nothing but hurt a case in a case that's so serious. I mean, these are people's lives and people's families that are gone. I just don't get it. But I just don't know. I have a feeling this is somebody that was snuffed off, like not snuffed off like killed, but put off by one of the group. Like put down or made to feel less than. And I don't know. I just get that feeling. I did share a little story on Facebook. It was on Facebook of a gal who unalived herself. And it was, I guess, behind her being teased by the two older girls. And so there was statements in the Facebook page saying that they deserved what they got because of because the other girl took their life. Did you read that?
No, I don't go down those rabbit holes. I mean, we have plenty of people that do, and I see it. I do see comments and the speculation. I actually literally just put the banner up because, a lot of this is speculation, Colin. But while we're doing that, I want to throw this out to you. Thank you, T-Bird, and there's another one out there that I appreciate the stickers and super chats. But let's just, since this is speculation and you're calling in, What's to say, you know, I sort of alluded that police could be involved. What's to say for 4 years one of these girls wasn't on campus, got caught drinking like one of these males, and maintained a relationship with one of these police officers, got out of the ticket, and it went from there. I mean, I'm just tossing ideas out there at this point, but
I mean,
you know, positions of control and power is the type of individual that we're looking for, I think. So it's just, you know, a thought. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, and that's all we can do right now is speculate, right? Because we've got nothing coming from the police department, which, you know, really is a sad thing. We need information from the police department. And I don't know why the police department's decided they're going to lag behind and not give information to the public. You know, just like the Kylie Ronday case. It's like, you know, law enforcement was involved there, in my opinion. Yeah, it's entirely possible because, you know, some cops tend to believe they're above the law and that they can get away with anything. And the type of utensil that was used in unaliving them, you know, is said to be a military type.
Yeah, a knife.
Knife.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to have a military type knife?
Well,
police officers.
Throw all of that out the window. What student, what kid, what first time Giller is going to pull this off and not get caught after a month? With all the surveillance and phone monitoring we have and all that. So you know, it goes without saying that just that alone throws in that aspect. But it's Sleuthy, up to 10 people. Go ahead.
Do you think that because, I mean, it's so clean and they don't have evidence or not coming forth with evidence, that it could be, I hate to say it, but some kind of serial killer or something?
I'll let Eva answer that. I think that she's sort of brought me on board for that theory. The longer it goes without a suspect or a person of interest, the harder I lean on that.
Yeah, that's kind of been my gut feeling from the beginning. And I feel like, you know, I mean, you can lean towards, you know, this is somebody that did this out of revenge because, I mean, to stab people and you're thinking these are college kids, so it's got to be something like that. But, you know, we don't have a suspect. We don't really, again, you don't even have like bloody handprints or a trail or anything and no sight of anybody going in and out of this house. For me, this is somebody that was very, very smart. Somebody's very, very smart and knew what they were doing and was very careful and very meticulous. I mean, that's just what it all points to me. And when you look at it like that, if it's somebody like that, I mean, to me, I feel like serial killer fits. Like when you apply any other scenario, there's still a lot of open-ended questions.
Yeah. I mean, when you think of it like that, I mean, it definitely seems like it's an experienced person, somebody who knew what they were doing. So probably not a student.
That's what we've been saying from the get-go. But we're going to open up the lines for another caller. We appreciate and love you for calling in. Be safe out there, and hope to hear you on the next one.
Okay, take it easy, y'all.
You as well. Peace. Okay, phone lines open again. Sleuthy asked a good question. How many people via the phone? One, because I haven't tested it. I presume that it would do conference calls and three-way calls, but I haven't tested it. So one via call-in, and 10 via the link that's pinned there as well. I wanted to thank Maria for the super sticker. Jody gave a super sticker. And some other folks. So thank you. We'll go back and thank them individually. I'm figuring this all out as we go.
phone lines open, Sleuthy, if you wanted to call in, or you can use the link. I don't know. I've thought serial killer since you sort of mentioned it. You from day one, I think you woke up and saw this and said, "Look, Ted Bundy killed people in college," and I don't know. And like I said here, I jokingly looked at you and said, "Well, we'll know soon enough if it happens again." And I hate to say it, but we're at that point. Like, it's almost a month, and like unless like I think I wake up now, instead of looking for news here, I'm looking for similar type crimes in Las Vegas, California, Colorado. Like I'm literally looking for similar crimes now because we don't have anyone.
I mean, when we initially first started talking about it, the reason that I kind of, the idea popped in my head was you think back to last month, the beginning of last month, it had been a couple weeks since the Jeffrey Dahmer series had come out on Netflix. And I don't know why, but the idea popped into my head that, this series became really popular, and sometimes maybe people see things like that, they're already having these thoughts in their head, like maybe this is somebody like copycatting, like maybe they had these urges already, maybe they have done things leading up to killing somebody, I don't know. And seeing that series and the the fascination around it, or everybody was talking about it when it first came out, I wondered if it wasn't somebody like copycatting a serial killer because of that Netflix series. And that's really where the idea kind of started for me. And then just the more we learned about it, I've kind of stayed leaning towards that. My ideas have swayed back and forth, as we're talking to people and as I'm hearing other ideas. But I don't know, that's just my gut feeling. That's what I keep going back to.
Hi, Sleuthy, and yeah, Lucky. I've said before that this is targeted at least in the sense that you'd have to wait until people were sleeping, at the very least. But
Hi, Sleuthy. And she snuck out like a ninja again.
must be some bugs out there that she saw. She's gonna go catch them real quick, and she'll be right back. I don't know. We have Pate joining, adding Pate to the stream. Hopefully, Sleuthy comes back. Hi, Pate.
Hey, is it working?
Yes. Hi,
I
Pate.
can't hear you guys at all. What do I do?
So on your little thing there on your settings, hit settings and then audio, and make sure that your speaker is set to either earphones or whatever audio output that you wish it to be. The alternative, Pate, is that we set up a phone line for boomers. So that phone number is 844-637-3273.
My mom is watching. She just texted me and said, let's see the cowboy cops again.
Oh, see, I'm going to give her a call. I feel like I need to give her a buzz. Hold on. She's always got some good input. And I'll put
You guys want this to happen until it happens, and then you're going to realize why I don't want it to happen.
Hello?
Mima.
I'm in the damn bathroom.
Who do you I'm going to put the Cowboys up for you, but who do you think did it?
Plainclothes investigators, we don't know if they're locals.
It's been in there many a times.
So you think it's someone personal?
Comfortable, but I don't know if it's personal, but they've definitely been in there. Wasn't that a party house?
Yeah, it was a big party house. I mean, the neighbors before all the information.
Just because they've been there doesn't mean they knew them personally.
So like
Could
a contractor.
be somebody coming and going with somebody else.
Contractor.
I don't think those cowboys are cops, though.
Who do you think they are?
I don't know.
But you want me to keep playing
They
them?
didn't look like cops.
They look like,
They looked
honestly,
really shady. They didn't want their heads facing up. They would walk with their heads down. They look shady as shit. That's what they look like.
yeah, I had a couple. I mean, they could be like, I don't know. People have thought they could be like ATF, DEA.
It
But
could be somebody just being nosy. You
yeah,
know?
but there's security there. Like, so you think I'm right? You're saying that these could be YouTube creators that just snuck in and got footage inside the house.
Could be.
And then,
I mean, I can't get a good look at them if they're even college kids. Maybe, might be one of the sons of bitches that done it and talked his buddies into going with him, not knowing he's the one that did it. Who the hell knows?
well, Mima, it's always a pleasure. I'm glad that we got a hold of you. Are you done in the back? Did you want to
Goodbye.
say?
Get off my phone.
Did you want to say?
Love you, Mom.
She didn't even want to say hi to her. Okay, well.
She didn't say bye to me.
She wanted nothing to do with that. But I mean, she raises a good point. It's always interesting. I mean, it could be someone we're always thinking personal, but it could be someone that fixed the internet. It could be someone that went in there to fix the cable. I don't know, fix the washing machine. But it's interesting that she didn't even want to say hi to you. But I'm going to play that cowboy.
Close investigators, we don't know if they're local, state, federal. They were inside, and we saw a lot of activity inside the home, and the home was...
There was some activity at the house. When we're day 25, Nancy, and there's still activity there. What was happening?
Yeah, less than an hour ago, we were here, and about 5 plainclothes investigators, we don't know if they're local, state, federal, they were inside, and we saw a lot of activity inside the home, and the home was lit up, so we were able to peek in.
Those are YouTubers. I mean, the first thing, I don't know, they don't have to, I guess, if they're higher up in the totem pole. Like, if news media asked them like their badge number, would they have to respond? I don't know. It's so bizarre. Like the fact that they were like their heads were down and they didn't want to be seen. I'm just like my theory, and I said this on Twitter, in IT, the more casual you dress, the higher your salary and the smarter you are. So I'm just going with that. And I think they could each have an individual function at the Fed level. One could be a profiler. One could, I don't know. They could have came back for more technical data. One could be, a technology forensics or digital forensics. I don't know what their positions were, but they were there for a reason. If they didn't belong there, bet your ass police saw the footage and would have already had these, college students if they were or YouTube creators. But
Well, and I think it also matters too. That footage, and they went in there, it's late at night, and if there was some kind of change in who's investigating this or who's leading it, or they brought new people in, this could have been a very last minute decision, like, okay, well, let's go check it out tonight. Yeah, they're in their plain clothes. That doesn't necessarily mean they dress like that all the time. This could have just been a very last minute, let's go check this out tonight kind of thing. So I think that's kind of important to keep in mind. But I don't know, if Mom says YouTubers, then it must be YouTube.
Well, the drive from Moscow, Idaho to Washington State line is about 4 hours, a little over 4 hours. So, it could be they drove out from Washington, but my hunch is that they all had specific specialties, each one, right? Typically, when you're taking on a project, you're not going to send 4 guys that all do the same thing. So I presume maybe there were teams of 2. Each one probably had a task. They were in there for 30 minutes, and then we're out. So I presume that it's gotten the attention of someone higher up. I take it as if that is them coming back 3 weeks later. When all of that, you see Moscow police already saying we have 113 pieces of evidence. The next day they'll accumulates and they'll tout that number. All that evidence, you come back 3 weeks later. I have a hunch that somebody thinks this something that was processed at the Idaho State Lab that was returned to officials makes them think that this may be linked somewhere else. That's my guess, because you don't send 4 higher ups back to the scene 3 weeks later unless they want more information, and that information was already gathered in the first 3 weeks. So more information to link it to something else is my guess, but I could be wrong.
I'm glad you guys are correcting him because I wasn't going to say anything. I don't think it's a 4-hour drive to Washington.
Is that?
Yeah,
I Googled
it's close
it.
to the border.
I did Moscow to Washington. Somebody asked me, and I literally, I'm going to take a print screen because that's what it showed me, but I didn't know the closest city. So thank you for correcting me. How long of a drive is it? So why are people even questioning the Washington plates? Like, we see Connecticut plates in New York all the time. If it's that close, I don't know. Why is that a big deal? I guess that's why I went there. If it's that close, then why is anyone questioning the Washington plates? I ask again, why were we questioning that? Okay.
I'm just gonna let you roll with that one.
15 minutes to Pullman, 1.5 hours of spoken. Thank you, Moxie. So it wouldn't be unusual to have Washington plates then, if it's that close.
I mean, the distance, I don't think that really matters. I think it was just noted that they had Washington plates on there. I think it's slightly odd to me. I mean, it is the state over, regardless if it's close to the border or not. It's another state.
We have Sleuthy back. See if we have audio from her. Hi, Sleuthy.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can.
All right, I'll be right back after in the living room.
Sounds good, Sleuthy. Take your time. Mount Vernon is roughly 6 hours from Boise, Idaho. I don't know that part. I've never been to Washington State. I don't think. Yeah, I owe the whole Midwest like a trip. And that Washington, Idaho. I've been to Colorado. Sleuthy, you there? You get to the living room yet?
Pate said she needs a bug.
She needs a what?
She needs a bug.
No. But I'm back. Can you do me a favor? And can you play the clip of those cowboys coming out? I want to see something about that car that's parked in the front.
Happy to. And how are you?
Plainclothes
good.
investigators, we don't know if they're local, state, federal, they were inside, and we saw a lot of activity inside the home, and the home was...
There was some activity at the house. We're day 25, Nancy, and there's still activity there. What was happening?
Yes. Yeah, less than an hour ago, we were here, and about 5 plainclothes investigators, we don't know if they're local, state, federal, they were inside, and we saw a lot of activity inside the home, and the home was lit up. So we were able to peek in some of the windows, but we saw those men inside the home in the 2 particular rooms where the murders took place. We did not see them leaving with any materials. I asked them a couple of times, why are they back? They did not answer me. They pulled away in 2 vehicles. One had a Washington State plate, the other had an Idaho plate. But that is all we can tell you. But we did see a lot of activity. This house was lit up for nearly an hour. They were inside. We don't know why. Nothing seemed to be removed. But as you know, Ashley, yesterday, a lot of the kids' belongings were removed by Moscow police.
Is that what you wanted to see?
Yeah, I just can't tell if that car is even on. I was looking for like melted snow at the bottom.
Can I see something completely unrelated? Why does the news media always blur out license plates? Like what are we as civilians gonna be able to get from? We know in true crime, like we always try to get license plates unless we have like someone in certain state DMV. Like there's nothing we can do with license plates. So why even blur it out? And not for nothing, they're not blurred out on the road when we're driving. Okay, that's it.
I've always wondered that too, because you can't. DMV records are protected, so yeah, and you can see somebody's license plate in real life.
It's a lot of extra work when you're producing content. There goes Sleuthie. She's tired of me already. She left.
Nobody makes an exit like Sleuthie. She slips out in the silence of the night.
This woman, I've known her for longer than a year, since the Gabby Petito case, and she's had internet issues for the same amount of time. I don't understand. Like, I would move. I don't understand how she still lives in the same place. She went through this whole thing where she got an internet upgrade, and we had about 2 weeks of consistent internet from her, and then it just went to shit again. Well, I don't know that we have much more to talk about. I don't know what Sleuthie was looking for. I think she was looking at the car that was parked inside the police tape? Because there's one car that's parked inside. I'm presuming that's a security company, right? And then she was looking at cars maybe on the road to see how long they were parked there. If snow was melted, it's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think she was talking about one of the cars outside of it, not the security car on the inside.
Yeah, and I don't know, like Amber, I see people saying that, but people that follow me, I have a lot of videos on TikTok with a lot of federal agents, Secret Service, FBI. We cover a lot of scenes, and they don't typically make such an effort to hide like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm just assuming they are feds, but I generally don't see them hiding their face like that. I don't know. They looked very, I mean, whatever position they are in law enforcement, they look like they have military background. That's my, I mean, I could be wrong, but.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Whoever they are, they didn't want their faces seen. So either it was people up to shady shit that shouldn't have been there and they snuck their way in, or they are some kind of agents that they need to keep their identity protected. Either way, we're just happy to watch that clip again and again.
Unreal. Oh, we got a phone call. This is exciting. It may be our last call of the night, so hopefully it's good. Who do we have on the line?
Hello, is this the nerdy addict?
It's my second mom, Pate. Hi, Pate.
Hey, I just can't go without asking you this question. So you talked about the the undercover or plainclothes cops stopping those kids, giving them $500 tickets, and how that was sus. And I'm wondering if you could elaborate on maybe a possible scenario that you're thinking that they, how that relates to the murder happening, really close by. How could that be sus?
I don't know. Like I said originally, like you saw all these people pile on immediately and say, look, the roommates are sus because of that. Like, and there's things we didn't know, and I don't know. I even with respect to the roommates, I still am allowed to think. And I said to Eva, and I said this to you guys, like that's kind of like the perfect alibi, right? If you're roommates and you already have blood all over you when the cops come because you fell or went unconscious, But look, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that's a good alibi. And I'm saying the same here for the police. Having this body cam footage at precisely the same time that 4 murders are pretty much unfolding sets up a nice scenario for me as a cop who could do something like this, to say, look, I was here on the service call. You see me clearly on body cam footage during this time frame. Here it is at the top. It's 3:10 a.m. I was doing this. There's no way I had 7 minutes to go and murder 4 people that I may or may not have had a 4-year sort of off and on, I want to say tenor with them, because I do this all the time. I'm always on this campus. I'm always hassling people that are drinking, but every single fucking neighbor is saying that these 4 partied and drank hard too. Where were the undercover cops when they started in their freshman year? I have a lot of questions. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they should be labeled as suspects. I'm saying, if I were to think this through with what I have in front of me, it sets up a pretty good alibi. It also begs the question, which I've already asked, is, were these 4 individuals ever confronted by these 2 undercover drinking narc cops? That seems weird at a college, right? I mean, we just came from a case where not one person gave a shit about 300 high school kids partying near a lake for graduation. Not one cop showed up, not one undercover, not one patrol for Kylie Rodney. And you have a whole undercover unit here set up to give infractions at exactly the same time that 4 kids are being murdered. Kind of a perfect alibi.
Right.
That's all.
Okay. No, I appreciate you answering the question, because I just had to have like some kind of idea in my head of what that would have looked like. And as far as timing goes, that is still a little bit like, but no, that answered my question. That makes sense. And anything's possible, right? So.
And just, I mean, yeah, anything's possible. I'm not saying at all. I'm just saying that in terms of a motive, and in terms of just pure WTF, like, I mean, you see what's happening right here on the screen. A street or 2 over are 4 kids that are about to, or have their whole life in front of them getting slaughtered. And again, how many of these calls occur? That's just a basic question I want. Like, how many of these calls and body cam footage do we have of these infractions occurring? And if we don't have a lot of them, then yeah, that's gonna make me go down a rabbit hole myself.
I think that's important to get. Yeah.
Metrics, right? A baseline is always important, and that's why I'm not jumping to conclusions. I want to make it really clear I'm not labeling any of these law enforcement members as suspects. I'm simply saying it creates a nice motive.
Understand that completely. Looking at all angles, that's what we do, right? Like, nothing is off the table, as you said last on the last live. So okay.
What are you doing for Christmas?
Well, I called in twice now, so
you basically saved this show.
Point.
You saved this show, Pate. I mean,
and you're welcome. Well, and the other thing is, I'm completely willing, to sacrifice my time and my gas money and everything, so that if you need me to drive over toward Eastern Washington, toward Idaho, I'd be happy to interview those cowboy guys. I mean, I'll do it. I'll take one for the team. I have a couple people that are willing to come with me.
That'd be really nice if you guys could do that. Actually, I think it would be super helpful. Make sure you record the entire interview, please.
Oh, to be younger. All right.
I mean, no matter what happens, Pate, I don't think you're going to exceed the interaction that Eva had with her. I don't even know what the name is, but Harry Styles. I mean, she by the luck and grace of God, caught Harry Styles' spit. I guess somehow his spit departed his mouth at whatever function was occurring. And by the grace of God, Eva was able to catch a little bit of Harry Styles' spit on her own flesh. And that's a memory she
Oh
will
my
have forever
God.
engraved on her. So what I'm hoping for is that perhaps one of these cowboys says something to you, and a particle of his saliva touches you. If there was a mistletoe there, Pat,
Oh, there'll be accidental touching involved. Don't worry.
I can't wait for the live footage. Thank you, Pate, for this.
Did you just say thank you? What?
Yeah, I said thank you for this, Pate. Thank you. Thank you for going there and doing this
Yeah.
for Nerdbird Mafia.
Anytime, just let me know when and where, and I'll be there, and a couple of ladies, I'll pick them up on the way,
Thank you, Pate. Somebody asked, have a great night. We're gonna do a Christmas special, I think, like a YouTube stream with Nerdbird Mafia. That was Eva's idea. So I hope to have you back up there, and we'll have some fun. I love you, Pate. Have a good night.
Yes. Love you too.
Pat.
Love you guys. Night.
So PB and J asked where I saw the amount. They actually verbally said, so when you rewind the stream and listen to the body cam footage, the police list the amount, $487. I didn't see that last question. Eva, can you post where those other two murders are on the 13th? Perhaps you can do that later on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll tweet those out. I'll tweet the information for those out.
Awesome. We have the police report here, which we already went over. So I think we have everything in which we wanted to update folks with, or anything that's developed since the last time we went live. Anything that we're missing? I think police are inundated with the Hyundai Elantra. We're waiting for, I guess, credible tips to pan out with them. And the FBI continues answering the phone from Moscow PD in the interim.
No, I think we've about covered everything. We're just now do what we've been doing and wait for them to put out an update every day and sift through what's real and what's not tomorrow on the internet with this. I can't believe you called me out about Harry Styles.
I'm glad we got to hear from Mima. That was exciting. I'm trying to just go into Discord one last time before we go. There was one, and it's to make a point. I don't know how credible it is, but just to see the work that sleuths are doing. Let me go into my private channel. And let's grab this. So sleuths are combing now Department of Transportation cameras, traffic cameras. I'm going to put this up before we end. So as an example, this is from our Discord. So the Discord server has lots of people searching from all different verticals. But as you can see, they're pulling up traffic cams, public cameras, and looking backwards on this day, 11/13, for white Hyundai Elantras or similar cars. As you saw earlier, the Sonata. If I was out here looking for a white Hyundai and I saw Sonata, I would say that it's close enough to report it to police. Would you disagree, Eva?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think at this point, anything that's slightly close enough should be reported. I think, I mean, they're inundated with tips, but if you think it's relevant and you feel like it's like, send it in. I think it should be sent in.
Yeah, and the point of this is that again, showing this, I presume this has gone over to law enforcement. The people in these groups are really good about stuff like that. We don't know if this is credible, but it goes to law enforcement, and it should. And the point here is that people all over the country, people all over the world are interested in this case. They are digging. They are looking for clues. When the police put out a call to help, they are. So continue doing so. Like we always say, try to do it responsibly. I do feel like I'm probably gonna I don't know, I'm gonna be a hypocrite at some point. I feel like I'm gonna hit a wall in 2 weeks and just start blasting people like their names. I'll just be on this YouTube like full name dumping. I'll show their full records from what we pull from open source intelligence records. We'll just start. I don't know. We won't do that, but I know people get frustrated. Try and do it. Continue doing it responsibly. Um, I know also like Eva on some real talk, like uh this is a problematic time of the year. I'll speak for myself and my family. Watching repeatedly over the years, holiday seasons, especially this time, this is that last push to really make it to New Year's. People are already struggling. If this case helps you get through that, great. So thanks for digging and continue doing what needs to be done for your own behavioral health. If this is too much, take a break from it. And if you just need some general community support, we're over on Twitter. We are dealing with the same thing. My family's dealing with it. Eva, how's your family doing?
Yeah, so we're actually, I was worried about one family member breaking down near the holidays, and actually it's a different one is having a rough time right now. So, and we've been doing our best to help with that. But it's the holidays, it's the stress of it. I know for me, even I don't struggle with addiction, but just the holiday season as a mom, it's stressful. My anxiety's through the roof. So I'm even having to remind myself to like breathe and, I have to go crazy. And, but yeah, it's a really important time of year, regardless of what you're struggling with, to make sure you remember to take care of yourself and take everything one day at a time and an hour at a time if you have to, and be there for people around you, because you don't know who else is struggling around you and doing their best to try and hold it together. So not just like you say, be kind to yourself and be kind to everybody else around you right now, especially right now.
There was a whole kindness train, I want to say, that occurred today at Starbucks with you. You said that the barista said it had been going on since this morning. So one person paid for the person behind them and they kept it going for hours, I guess. I'm always scared. Like what happens if like mine is like $13 and I get like this Karen with like 10 kids, like from the minivan. Like oof. But nonetheless, it kept going.
Yeah, I thought that was really sweet. It really did like took me by surprise. I went for I did the afternoon run today. You did the morning run this morning, so this was the afternoon Starbucks run. And yeah, the kid told me, he said the person in front of you actually paid. Would you like to pay for the person behind you? And I said, yeah, of course. And I was like, well, how long has this been going on? And he said since early this morning. It just made me feel all warm and fuzzy. And it turns out the person behind me actually was the exact same amount. It was two drinks. But me personally, even if it had been, a van full of people and it was like 30 or 40 bucks, I would have been happy to pay it. It's good karma.
Good karma. And yeah, just a good reminder to be kind. This time of the year, everyone has different beliefs. There are people out there that require no gifts, just some kind words, just reaching out. If you are struggling beyond having the ability to pick up the phone and receive comfort from someone you trust, even a random stranger, if you're beyond that point, please pick up the phone. 988 in the US. If you're having dark thoughts, please pick up the phone. And that works bi-directionally. So everyone that's listening, right? That has to work for the person that's in that dark spot. They have to be able to pick up the phone to reach out. But sometimes all it takes is you reaching out to that person when they're unable. So a reminder to everyone: please be kind. Please keep your face, your head towards that light this holiday season. We're almost at New Year's Eve. We're almost through this push. We're going to try to stay on these as often as we can, whether it's spaces or here, just to stay connected. That's important for me. At the very end of the day, I know it's selfish, but for me, I need to feel connected to a community that's kept me sane and sober for the past year. So I will try to I'm in a better place this year. Still not fully there, but definitely in a better place. And I will try to be there for others if they so require.
Yeah, me too. This doing this actually definitely I feel like gives us a really good stress outlet. We enjoy doing well as much as we enjoy it, we hate it too. But it's a good outlet. It feels good to stay connected to you guys, and it definitely helps me too. So yeah, I hope everybody has a good night and take deep breaths and get a full night of sleep and be in the holly jolly spirit tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Everyone that likes, subscribes, to all the folks that sent super stickers or super chats this evening. Thank you very much. We truly appreciate it, and try to do or prepare to do good things with what comes to us. So thank you again. I don't know. I think we're gonna go try to do some more holiday lights. We got a lot of cookies. I'm probably going to eat about 4 of them after this live stream. And I think we're beyond buying pickles. I think we're at the stage. There's like 15 garden pots out there, growing fresh dill, fresh cucumbers. I'm gonna make my own pickles. So
I'll give it to you too. It's you and the oldest. Y'all are determined. And she was slacking on plant duty today, but I can't wait to see what turns up for you guys.
I'm excited. It's exciting to be able to do that in December in Florida. So I'm very grateful to be able to do that. Grateful to have days. We had 2 days that were 80 out. Today it was kind of gray, so it was a hibernation day and content day. So thank you all for joining us. We're gonna go catch OP Live, rewind that, and thank you, everyone. Be kind to each other. We love you all.
Love you guys.